Hey everybody. So today I'm going to show you a simple method for doing a grow light station for starting your garden seeds inside, or at least a simple system that we use. Stay tuned. Hi everybody. Welcome to Good Day Farm. And so today I just wanted to do a little video here, short, on how we set up or are going to set up a grow light station for starting our seeds for our garden. We are in Northwest Illinois, Zone 5 when it comes to planting. So it's the end of March right now, so obviously too early for us to be planting anything in the ground. The weather has been teasing us, making us think that we could, but we know better. We typically won't put anything in the ground until May, mid-May at best. So, but it's a good time for us to start our seeds inside. And then that way we can have some good starts on some of the plants and transplant them outside. So this year we're going to try something a little different, and I wanted to share it with you guys. We're going to actually make a grow light station. As you can see behind me, this is the unfinished portion of our basement. It is heated. It's I say unfinished, but it's concrete floor, concrete walls. There's heat in here. Half of it is finished, so it's actually a very good usable space. It's just rustic, I guess, if you want to call it that. So the space behind me is where we're going to do. It's going to be a very small grow station. We're new to gardening. We haven't quite figured it out. Every year we try a few more ideas and we try and grow and expand. And I seriously hope within a few years to actually have, for us, a usable, workable garden that produces stuff that we consume instead of just planting things for the sake of planting them, and in a method that is easy, low maintenance, and doesn't require us spending hours a day weeding and that type of thing. So we're getting there. We're working on it. Anybody that follows the channel knows that we struggle with gardening. I've mentioned that before. But this year we're going to try something a little different. We've done seed starts inside before, but never with lights. And so we're going to try that this year, and I'm going to show you what we're doing. So as you can see the space here, so there's a basement window here already, but obviously that's not going to let in enough natural light for seed starts. And I've just thrown together this it's a old card table that we've used for painting things, staining things. It's looks dirty, but really that's not. It's just stained and well used. So nothing fancy. The advantages here, I'm going to be able to hang the lights from the rafters up here, and then I've got power, actually two sources of power if I need it. There's a third one right over there. So everything we need right here. Over in the corner, which I'm not going to show on the video here, but we have water. So this will work great. So let me just get the lights and stuff and show you what we got. Okay, so this is everything that I'm going to use. I'm going to set two fluorescent lights. Excuse me, not fluorescent, shop lights. We went with the LEDs. I'll explain a little bit about that in just a second. But two lights over the table. This whole table will be totally covered in light. Going to use a timer, and then there's some chains and hooks so I can suspend these from the rafters above. A little bit about why we chose the LEDs. You could use fluorescent, that's fine from everything I've read and researched. We went with LED simply because power usage would be less, although it may not be a big deal compared to the fluorescents, but it would be less. And bulbs. So these last significantly longer, and there's less of an issue with disposal. So in keeping in line with our goals and aspirations of why we do our Good Day Farm, granted, when this burns out, you have the waste of the whole unit that, majority of it could be recycled. We don't have to deal with the possibly yearly waste of fluorescent bulbs, which can be difficult to dispose of properly. So it's a trade-off, These cost a little bit more up front, but hopefully over time they'll last longer. One point I will make, whichever way you go, if you're going to make something like this for a grow light station, I highly recommend you get shop lights. There's all kinds of 4-foot, and I went with 4-foot. But there's all kinds of fixtures, both in the fluorescent lights and the LED world. And some are flush mount, or just directly mount to the wall or ceiling. And then your shop lights have a system for change, so they can be suspended from the ceiling. And they typically have a little more of a shield around where the bulbs go to kind of cascade the light in a downward direction. Some of them actually have covers over the bulbs. You may or may not want that for a grow situation. I don't think it would matter. But anyhow, I highly recommend, based off everything we've researched. Like I said, this is the first time for us using grow lights, making a grow station, but pretty confident that the shop light setup's the way you want to go. It makes it adjustable. As our seeds and our start to grow, we can raise the lights much easier than if they were hard mounted to something. So anyhow, next step is just going to be, I'm going to have all these hooked up. Quick word about the timer. I went with a timer. I want this to be as low maintenance as possible. This timer accepts 2 plugs. It was less than $10. It's a manual timer, no digital, nothing like that. It can allow for up to like 48 different settings. I only need 2. I need it to come on and shut off. We're going for 12 to 14 hours of light a day on these. This way, it's in an area that we're past often during the day in our basement. We come in out of our basement a lot. Our laundry's down here and stuff like that. So as far as watering the plants and all that, that won't be a big deal. But I didn't want to have to deal with making sure we got down here to turn the lights on, got down here to turn them off. So a timer is going to automate that for us, so they'll get the light they need every day. Also, one quick thing I do want to mention about lights. Excuse me. So based off everything I researched, you want the K-band, which on these it's on the box because these came with the bulbs. Otherwise, if you're buying bulbs separately, most modern stuff will list the spectrum of light that it puts out. From my understanding, you wouldn't want to go below 4,000. You want to be in the daylighter range, which is 4,000 to 6,000 on most of your stuff. So 6,500 or 5,500. Everybody's a little different in how they label it, but you're looking for that on this spectrum here. You're wanting it as close to the white as possible, not too blue, not too yellow. These I saw on in the store, and even though it says they're 4,000 K. Which is towards the top end, would be, in my opinion, the bottom end of daylight or top end of the yellow warm, so it should be fine for the plants. I couldn't find any LED ones in like 6,000. I have some outside lights that are 6,000. They are really white, really, really bright. These are pretty bright, pretty white light, pretty close to just natural, looking outside lights. So I think they'll be fine. I Googled around and saw where several people had said 4,000 K is totally fine for plants. So should be okay, but do your research on that. So if you're getting fluorescents and need bulbs, or if you're doing possibly something with incandescent lights, whatever you're doing, the K range is really important. You don't want your standard house bulb is very yellow. It's down in the 2,500 range. It's a very, what they call a warm light. That wouldn't be ideal for growing seed starts and plants from. Okay, there you have it. Not sure how well the camera will show, but very bright, plenty of light. The nice thing about being LEDs, there's no worry about heat buildup here, so no danger of anything catching fire. I'll make a few adjustments as we go on this. Probably figure out, use some twist ties to tie the cords back. I don't want them permanently tied back because they need to have some adjustability. So as we pull these chains up through these hooks at the top, to raise the height as the seed trays, as the starts get taller and taller, we'll keep raising it up. Timer plugs in right there. Both lights plug into the timer, and it's set to run 14 hours a day. Should be good. So I hope this was helpful for anybody that's thinking about starting a grow light station. I plan on doing a full series of our gardening experience for this year. This will be the first in the series, obviously setting up a grow light station. Then planting seedlings, and just go through that process. I'll probably do an update, just as needed. Not going to be anything that's scheduled, every week. It'll just be as, the starts start to sprout. I'll show you that, the basic care that we're doing with that. I am going to do the soil blocking system for our starts, so there'll be no containers, Nothing to worry about there as far as waste or cost or recycling that or anything like that. And I'm going to make my own soil blocker instead of buying. You can buy the ones that'll make 4 blocks at a time, the kind of small size, and then the micro ones do more. I think I'm going to do one that'll make 1.5-inch size blocks, one at a time. Be a little slow, but this is a learning process. So if it's something that we really like and comes in handy, then maybe I'll buy them, the hand operated machine at a later date. They're not super expensive. They're about $30, but I just don't want to make that investment right now when I could make it out of a PVC pipe for about $3 total. So if it's something that we don't like or don't end up sticking with, I didn't lose much money on it. Anyhow, so that'll be the next in this series, is making that. And then I think next weekend, or possibly the weekend after, we'll have starts started. So I'll do a video of potting those, and we'll go from there. So hope this will be helpful to you guys. I think I'm gonna have fun doing this series. So keep watching, stay tuned, and I'll put links and everything in each video as we go along. Thanks a lot, you guys. Have a great day, and remember, it's always a good day on the farm. Bye.